it's your girl Weeza and welcome back to my world. In today's video, we are going to debunk chemical exfoliators. Now, you've probably been hearing a lot about chemical exfoliators, chemical peels, chemical everything, this and that, but what are they? How do they work? What's an AHA, PHA, BHA? What does it all mean? Is one type of chemical exfoliator better than the other? And how do I know if the chemical exfoliator that I'm using or I want to use actually fits me and my unique skin type? So how do you pick with all of these options, all of these peels, and these products being all of the rage right now? It's overwhelming to say the least. So this debunked episode is dedicated to help you better understand chemical exfoliators, how they work, and which one can help you out the most. If you're new to my channel, hey, what's up? My name's Weeza. I do beauty and lifestyle videos here on YouTube. A really unique thing about me and my channel is that I have an educational background in science. And what that means is that I'm able to understand the science behind your everyday beauty and lifestyle products and trends and help you understand them better, explain them to you, so you can make more informed decisions in the future. If you like these types of videos, make sure you hit that thumbs up and like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Now, I am super stoked to get on with this episode, so let's just get right on with it. Let's debunk chemical exfoliators. Okay, so exfoliators, let's talk about them. So what is an exfoliator? So an exfoliator is anything that removes dead skin cells from the top surface layer of your skin. By removing this top layer of dead skin cells from the surface of your skin, it actually improves the appearance and texture of your skin, as well as keeping acne and aging in check. By exfoliating our skin regularly, it actually optimizes new skin cell generation. Our skin actually has a natural exfoliating process which it undergoes daily, and our skin cells regenerate every 28 to 30 days. As we get older, we expose our skin to just life, the sun, new products, whatever, and the ability for our skin to naturally exfoliate and shed off these dead skin cells actually slows down. This can lead to some pretty bad looking skin. Your skin can look uneven textured, it can have a buildup of dead skin cells which can then go into your pores and give you acne or breakouts, and it makes your skin look very aged, dull, and just not cute. It's also super important to understand that our skin cells are held together by tiny bonds holding them together. So think of our skin cells as holding hands, kind of keeping tight, protecting you from the outside world, because that's what our skin is. Our skin's a big protective mechanism protecting us from the outside world. If we didn't have skin, we would just be a big walking mush of organs and blood, and we wouldn't be held together, that's for sure. So thank you, skin. So it's this process, the process of actually breaking the bonds between skin cells or breaking the hand holding between cells and unveiling fresh skin cells underneath that we mean when we say exfoliate. There are two types of exfoliators, mechanical and chemical. So mechanical exfoliators are things like scrubs and facial brushes that physically work to rub on your skin to break those bonds and slough off those dead skin cells. Mechanical exfoliators use friction, use force, which can create small micro tears in the skin, which can actually cause a lot more harm than good on your skin. So just be careful when you're using things like facial scrubs and brushes and whatnot. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to get too much into mechanical exfoliation. I'm going to stick strictly with chemicals, but if you're interested in learning more about mechanical exfoliators, let me know in the comments down below and I'll be happy to follow up in a future video. So chemical exfoliators actually break those bonds, the hand holding between cells, using chemicals and without using huge force. This means that chemical exfoliators tend to be more gentle on the skin as they don't cause those small micro tears like they do in the mechanical exfoliators. Chemical exfoliators are hydroxy acids, things like AHAs, BHAs, and PHAs. Now, before you start panicking and saying, oh my god, acid, you said the word acid, we're not talking about high grade, highly potent acids that like burn your skin and melt your face off, like sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid. No, we're not talking about that kind of stuff. We're talking about hydroxy acids, and they're very different than those types of acids, because yes, those ones are dangerous, but these ones are actually good and safe to use in our skin. The word acid is just a scientific term that we give to a molecule or an ion that actually donates its proton or hydrogen. They're actually givers, they're the nice guys. They like to give gifts, you know? They're given the gift of hydrogen, they're given the gift of protons. So I can totally understand when you hear the word acid, you start freaking out and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna burn my skin. Yes, you can if it's in high enough concentration, but skincare scientists have perfected these formulations in concentration, and if used properly, they can be really beneficial for your skin. Weeza, what are hydroxy acids and how they work? So like I mentioned, there's three different types of hydroxy acids, AHA, BHA, and lesser known PHA. And although for the most part they function quite similarly, there are slight differences between them, and if used properly can really change your skincare game. So let's chat a little bit about each acid and what they do, what they are, and some examples of them. So first up, AHA. AHA stands for alpha hydroxy acid. And AHAs are a group of acids derived from animals and plants. Some of the most common and most well-known AHAs are things like glycolic acid and lactic acid. AHAs are water soluble. So what this means is that they're able to dissolve in water. This tells us that these acids love water, and what needs water? Our skin. So AHAs are perfect for hydrating the skin and retaining moisture. So not only does AHAs exfoliate the skin, they actually retain moisture content of your skin as well. AHAs act on the outermost layers of your skin to slough off those dead skin cells, leaving you with a very radiant, super glowy, and super smooth skin. So if you've ever used an AHA chemical peel or an AHA product, you know how it works and how that post-AHA feels. You get really like glowy, luminous, very smooth skin. I love them. I love AHAs. Okay, so let's just get on with a few examples of some AHAs and how they work and how they can be of benefit to you. First AHA I want to talk about is Miss Glycolic Acid. So I have the ordinary glycolic acid toning solution, and I also have the little sample size of a TLC Framboise Glycolic Nice solution by Drug Elephant. I've used both of these products and I think that they are game changers. I love them. I'm a pro glycolic acid, so my opinion on glycolic acid may be a little biased in this episode, but just want to let you know that I've used these. I have dry, mildly sensitive skin and they work amazing on me, which is interesting because it kind of contradicts what I'm going to say, but it just goes to show that everybody has unique skin types, and things that may work for someone else may not work for you, and vice versa. So glycolic acid is actually made from sugarcane. It is the smallest molecule, yet the most effective and strongest out of all of the AHAs. It's important to talk about its size because its size really is an important factor in how this guy works. The size is actually able to penetrate the skin surface and get into deeper layers and actually pull up moisture and work on the outermost layers of the skin versus just surface level stuff. So glycolic acid is small. It's able to easily penetrate through the skin without help of anybody else. It can do it all on its own. She's small, she's mighty, and she goes. She's an independent woman and we love her. So like all AHAs, glycolic acid actually goes in and breaks those bonds or that hand holding between cells to help slough off those dead skin cells and exfoliate the skin. Glycolic acid actually promote collagen stimulation and collagen regeneration, helping your skin look more plump and juicy and just full of that protein that we need in our skin. But because glycolic acid is so small and can penetrate into deep layers, it can cause severe irritation to some sensitive skin types. If you are super sensitive to certain products, I highly recommend for you to start with this next AHA, lactic acid. Now, lactic acid does the exact same thing as glycolic acid, but the molecule is a bit larger, so it won't penetrate as deep and cause as much irritation. Lactic acid is more gentle version of glycolic acid and one of the most gentlest AHAs. As you could expect, lactic acid isn't made from a plant like glycolic acid is. It's actually made from the lactose found in milk. So you get it, lactic acid, lactose, you know, lactic acid. So I recommend lactic acid for anyone just starting out using AHAs, and then they can work their way up to a glycolic solution like I did. I also recommend lactic acid to anyone who has sensitive skin that wants to dip their feet into the AHA game. I personally started with a lactic acid and built my skin tolerance up to use glycolic acid, and I have never looked back. So the concentration that you want to look for using an AHA to start is anywhere between 5 and 7%, and then you can work your way up to a bit of a stronger acid if you want, an 8 to 10%. I personally wouldn't go anywhere over 10% because I think that's too much for daily use. This one here by The Ordinary is a 7% toning solution. I started using this and I have never changed my percentages yet. It still works great. This is like my 5th or 6th bottle. It's amazing and I highly recommend her. But like I said, it's up to you and your unique skin goals. You know what you want. You can do what you want. But I find that the concentration in this guy is just perfect enough for me to use her every day. Unlike this guy who's 12%, so she's a bit stronger. So I wouldn't use her every day. I would use her maybe once, twice a week max. I recommend AHAs to anyone with dry to normal skin that is experiencing any surface level skin conditions like fine lines, wrinkles, acne scars, hyperpigmentation, uneven, dull looking skin, things like that. If that's your issue and that's your skin goals, then AHAs will be your best friend. Next, BHAs. BHAs are similar to AHAs in terms of structure, but they differ by the position of their hydroxyl group. So when you look at them side by side, the difference looks negligible, right? But that small conformational change can have huge effects on that particular molecule's properties and how it works on your skin. BHAs are also derived from plants, and one really common, probably the most researched BHA in the entire world is Miss Salicylic acid herself. So yes, salicylic acid is a BHA. And yes, again, BHAs function similar to AHAs to actually chemically break those bonds between skin cells and slough off or exfoliate those skin cells away. The difference is that BHAs are oil soluble. And if you recall, AHAs were water soluble, so they're able to be dissolved in water. Well, BHAs are able to be dissolved dissolved in oil. Now you're probably thinking, Weeza, I don't have like a layer of oil on my face. Like, what does that mean? Like, how does that have any benefit onto me? Well, yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, you do. Your body naturally produces something called sebum, which is an oil produced naturally to lubricate, protect, and retain moisture into the skin. We all produce sebum, some more than others, hence different skin types, dry, oily, normal, combo. Nonetheless, sebum is a critical component in maintaining healthy, beautiful skin. So for a molecule to be oil soluble in skincare, it means that it's able to penetrate that sebum layer and actually get into the pore. Our pores have sebum, so BHAs are able to penetrate into that pore and physically dig out all that dirt, that gunk, all that stuff that we don't need in our pores. Think of BHAs as janitors of our pores, going in there, vacuuming, sweeping, mopping up all that dirt, all that gunk in our pores and leaving us with sparkling, clean pores. As you would expect, BHAs are perfect for oily skin types, but it's also gentle enough to be used on dry skin as well. So let's talk a little bit more about salicylic acid. This is just a Clean and Clear Advantage spot acne treatment. This is just a 2% solution. I use salicylic acid as a spot treatment on most of my breakouts. Salicylic acid is made from willow bark and is generally the kind of go-to for any doctor to recommend a acne treatment. Salicylic acid is known as the acne killer. Like every BHA, salicylic acid has the ability to penetrate into the pore and just degunk it, take all of that dirt, grossness, like stuff we don't need in there, take it out and clean it out, and if used often enough, she can help clear out acne and prevent future breakouts. Studies have also shown salicylic acid in particularly to have anti-inflammatory and antibacterial effects. This is huge. That means that salicylic acid can actually go in and kill some of the bacteria that may be causing some more severe forms of acne. Salicylic acid is literally a secret killer. As well, salicylic acid has the ability to help with age spots and sunspots and hyperpigmentation issues, especially in darker skin tones, because salicylic acid also has some sun protecting properties, which I won't get too much into. Just know that this guy here has some sun protecting abilities that actually can help darker skin tones when the sun hits them and their skin gets more prone to being discolored because they have more melanin in their skin. Salicylic acid actually is the most preferred method for acne treatment in dark skin tones for that exact reason. The recommended concentrations to look for BHA or salicylic acid is anywhere from 0.5% to 2%. I wouldn't go any more higher than that for daily use. I think it's sufficient enough to combat acne, future breakouts, and spot treat if needed. So she sounds kind of like the perfect chemical. Like, why don't we just use her? Well, using salicylic acid can actually be quite drying on the skin, so it's not perfect for all skin types, so keep that in mind. I personally say oily to normal. I think dry skin types should go to AHAs 100% or mix them. We'll get into that in a second. So if you do end up using salicylic acid, make sure that you offset it by using a super hydrating moisturizer and top it off with that, and you should be good to go. The last hydroxy acid is PHA. This one's a little lesser known and it's not talked about as much. Some common examples of PHAs are things like galactose or lactobionic acid. PHAs work most similarly to AHAs like glycolic acid and lactic acid to exfoliate dead skin cells off. So the difference between PHAs and AHAs then is that PHAs are a bit larger molecules than AHAs and will be more gentler on the skin. This means that it won't penetrate as deeply into the skin as AHAs do and therefore won't be as irritating. So PHAs are the most gentlest out of the three acids, and I would recommend them to super sensitive skin types or anyone that is experiencing skin concerns, someone with eczema or rosacea. PHAs are your best friend, and that is the go-to hydroxy acid for you. Now, it's not a matter of saying one acid is better than the other and whatnot. It really just depends again on you and your unique skin type and your unique skin concerns. So Weeza, can you combine acids? Absolutely. So a lot of companies actually combine multiple hydroxy acids into one product to kind of make it a big super cocktail mix that will just work wonders and tackle a whole bunch of different skin concerns. For example, take the Glow Recipe PHA BHA Pore Tight Toner. This one has PHAs and BHAs in it. So it's going to be quite gentle because it has that PHA in it, but it's also going to fight acne and get that stuff out of your pores. This one here, I've looked everywhere to try to find the concentrations of the actives in it, but I can't seem to find it. I know it's going to be less than 1% salicylic acid for sure. I really had trouble finding the exact percent in the solution, but nonetheless, I highly recommend her and I really, really like this formula. Another really popular super kind of cocktail mix is one by Glossier. I think it's called the Solution or just Solution. It's a toner with AHAs, BHAs, and PHAs, BHAs all in one to be like one super cocktail, one size fits all kind of product. I've heard really amazing things about that and I've yet to try it. If you've tried it, let me know in the comments down below how you like it and if it works, because sometimes I feel like quality is compromised when you get this product that is used for a whole bunch of different skin concerns and it doesn't actually target your unique skin concerns, so sometimes it kind of isn't good. Again, let me know if you've tried the Glossier solution. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm interested to know your thoughts. Okay, so weeza, I understand what a hydroxy acid is now, AHA, BHA, PHA, got it. But how do I like pick one for me? Like I'm still like unsure. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the similarities between AHA and BHAs because I feel like that's the ones that people have the most questions about. For PHAs, just know that they're the most gentle and they'll help sensitive skin types or people with dry skin conditions like rosacea and eczema. Both BHAs and AHAs are exfoliating, smoothing, and brightening. So we've talked about it multiple times in this video. These acids work to slough off that top layer of dead skin cells, break those bonds, promoting cell regeneration, leaving your skin look more exfoliated, more smooth, more glowy, more bright. When you take that top layer of skin cells off, you're really getting a brighter effect. Now the light is able to bounce off your skin and reflect differently, making you look more luminous, more glowy, and more smooth. Both AHAs and BHAs fade pigmentation if you have dark spots or you have surface level acne scars. Those dead skin cells that are damaged by you picking your face and getting all discolored and all not so nice get sloughed off as well, leaving you with fresh, beautiful, acne scar-less skin. Both AHAs and BHAs help hydrate, firm, and reduce wrinkles in the skin, ultimately helping with the aging process. Both acids actually increase the production of collagen in the skin. AHAs and BHAs are humectants, and what that means is that they're able to draw in moisture, think like a magnet or a sponge soaking up water. They're able to create some sort of moisture rendition into the skin, some products more than others, but all acids tend to have some sort of moisture rendition capability. As well, BHAs and AHAs also increase the production of collagen in the skin, making your skin look more plump and more juicy and ultimately leading to less wrinkles, less aging, and just more youthful looking skin. And the last similarity between the two is that they can prevent acne on a surface level. Now, I say surface level only because they're able to slough off that top layer of skin. Acne can form by a buildup of dead skin cells in that pore. So if you slough off that top layer, then you're helping to prevent that type of acne from occurring. So both BHAs and AHAs have that ability to prevent acne in that way. BHAs actually have the ability to prevent acne in other ways, which we'll talk about in the differences between the two. So those are the similarities between AHA and BHA. What are the differences? So the first difference is in solubility. AHAs are water soluble where BHAs are oil soluble. And what that means is that they have a different area of action. So that means that AHAs will actually work on the top layers of your skin versus BHAs who just work surface levels and in your pores. They also vary in the concentrations in which they're used at normally for daily use. AHAs, I personally recommend anything from 5 to 10% max, and anything over that would be a chemical peel in my eyes. And for BHAs, they're generally found in concentrations of 0.5% to 2%, and anything over that percent would also be found in a chemical peel. Take the ordinary red viral solution. I think it has 30% AHA and 5 or 10% BHA, so you can see it's highly concentrated and not for everyday use. They also differ in the ability to control oil. So we know that AHAs have no effect on oil because they're water soluble, but BHAs actually have the ability to control oil because they are oil soluble. So that's super important if you're an oily skin type and you want to control that oil. BHAs are your go-to, your best friend. As well, BHAs are great in clearing pores. AHAs have no effect in penetrating pores and clearing out that gunk, but BHAs have that oil solubility, that ability to go into the pores, clean them out. Think the janitors of the pores, going in, sweeping up, mopping up all of that junk in our pores and making our pores physically appear smaller. That's another difference. BHAs have the ability to shrink our pores. Although we can't actually change the size of our pores, but having stuff inside of our pores makes our pores appear larger. So BHAs can actually contribute to the shrinking of pores, and that is a win for anyone who has large pores which they want to decrease. BHAs and AHAs also differ in the irritation levels that they provide. So when you think of irritation, you have to think of the molecule size. So we know that AHAs tend to be smaller and penetrate deeper into the skin than BHAs. So AHAs tend to cause a little bit more irritation on the skin versus BHAs. But again, I take this with kind of like a light hand because I personally find that salicylic acid dries me out and irritates my skin more than glycolic acid does. And that just comes down to me and my unique skin type and what works well for me. But scientifically speaking, since the molecule is smaller and it penetrates deeper into the skin, AHAs cause more irritation. And the last difference I kind of want to touch base on is photosensitivity, or the sensitivity from the sun. It's important to note that the exfoliating effect that both of these acids have on your skin actually make your skin more sensitive to the sun because it's giving you fresh layers of skin. But studies have shown that AHA actually increases the sensitivity to the sun. So when you use AHAs, you have to be a little bit more sun smart. BHAs have actually shown some photoprotective abilities, so some protecting abilities from the sun, especially on darker skin tones. But for me, in my personal opinion, I would still recommend to wear sunscreen every day, as both these acids do make you more sensitive to the sun. Lastly, I wanted to chat a little bit about skin types or skin concerns and my recommendations in terms of what I think you should be using to help you achieve your skincare goals. This is the part I'm most excited about. Let's just get right started with that. So let's start off with oily skin. So if you have oily skin and you're trying to control oil, I highly recommend a BHA, so salicylic acid. She's your best friend. Remember that BHAs are oil soluble, so they're going to be able to penetrate that oil and help control your oil production and kind of level it all out. For dry or sensitive skin, I would recommend AHAs, and particularly lactic acid. Because it is a larger molecule, it is a bit more gentler on the skin and will give you the same benefits to exfoliate off those dead skin cells. I would start off with a low concentration around 5%, work up to 7, work up to 10, but I would start slow and then work your way up and see if you can tolerate it. Then if you do, similar to like what I did, move on over to glycolic acid. And if you prefer a BHA and you have dry skin, I would recommend salicylic acid, but in a very low concentration at a 0.5%, because salicylic acid doesn't cause a lot of irritation, but it can cause drying out. It does on me anyways, so you just gotta be mindful of that. For sensitive skin or dry skin conditions like rosacea and eczema, I'd recommend a PHA. They are the most gentlest out of the 3 hydroxy acids because they are the largest and they work surface level to exfoliate the skin. Normal or combination skin, you kind of can do whatever you want in a way. I would use a combination of both, so maybe like a toner that combines an AHA and a BHA. But if you're a normal skin type, I would try to figure out what exactly you want to get out of these products. Is it smoothing? Is it texture? Is it acne? Is it breakouts? What exactly is your issue? And then cater it that way. If you have surface level concerns like hyperpigmentation, uneven skin tone, cater more towards the AHAs. But if you're more concerned about acne and breakouts and preventing acne altogether, then I would go to a BHA. Let's talk about skin conditions and skin goals. If you have existing acne or your skin is very prone to acne and breakouts, I would highly recommend a BHA. The reason is because BHAs go into the pore, clean it all out, make them look nice and beautiful, and actually prevent existing acne from happening in the future. And then you have that added bonus of the actual exfoliation of sloughing off that dead skin cells and preventing those dead skin cells from going into the pore altogether. As well, BHAs have anti-inflammatory effects which kill bacteria which may cause acne, something that you may not have even known is causing your acne to begin with. If you're concerned about pigmentation, uneven skin tone, and texture, I personally would recommend AHAs. They're powerful exfoliators which can penetrate deep into the layers of your skin and really help smooth everything out and make you look like you have flawless, beautiful skin. If you are a darker skin tone though, I would recommend you to go to salicylic acid, a BHA. The reason is because BHAs have been shown to have some photo protecting abilities, so protecting from the sun. The sun makes your skin and spots on your skin look darker, and if you go outside and just do life, those skin cells and that skin will just generate to be darker because it's already damaged. So if you use a BHA like salicylic acid, for example, it will act as a shield on top of that acne scar or that discoloration that you're having, kind of protect your skin until those dead skin cells slough off and you're left with that new beautiful skin. So the answer to this question is that if you have a lighter complexion, I would recommend an AHA, and if you have a darker complexion, I would recommend a BHA, in particular salicylic acid. And lastly, let's talk about wrinkles and fine lines. We all kind of want to have nice, youthful skin. So which products will give that to me? And my answer to this is both AHA and BHA. The reason is that both of these products are humectants. And what that means is that they'll draw up moisture and help retain moisture in your skin. As well, both AHA and BHA help stimulate collagen production. Either way you decide to choose, both will work. It really just depends on you and your unique skin type and how you want to cater it, and which one won't be as irritating and drying on your skin. And that is it. That is debunked chemical exfoliants. I hope that you learned something new and you learned a little bit about AHAs, BHAs, PHAs, what they are, how to use them, and how to incorporate them into your skincare routine. I truly believe by just adding in a chemical exfoliant will elevate your skincare game and take it to the next level, and you'll wonder why you hadn't started earlier. Just be mindful that you're not going to see results overnight. So it does take time, and consistency is key. It's not going to be like a day thing where it changes overnight and you're like, whew, my skin's brand new. No, unfortunately, I wish. So let me know, do you use chemical exfoliants in your everyday skin routine? What type of products do you use? BHAs, AHAs, PHAs? What do you use? Let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll catch you on my next one. See ya!